Miss Homies Nerd here. So I recently found out that one of my favorite video game series, being the American McGee's Alice series, is getting a TV show adaptation. As someone who's a big fan of this twisted, dark take on Alice in Wonderland, I am so hyped. If there's real talent behind this show has the potential to be a fantastic series if handled with care. With great video game adaptations such as Netflix's Arcane and Castlevania, I have hopes that this Alice TV series will continue the trend of good video game adaptations and possibly contribute to adult animation. You know, if this show's gonna be mostly done through CG animation and not be a mixture of CG and live action like the Tim Burton Alice movies. Anyway, going over the article, it reads, American McGee has been hard at work with a new adventure with Alice, but the last major update we had was the full script released back in August. Now we are going on a different adventure. David Hayter, you might know him as the voice of Snake in Metal Gear Solid, will be writing and producing a TV series based on the Alice games. For those of you that don't know, Hayter is also a writer with titles on his belt including X2, Watchmen, and Netflix's Warrior Nun. Hayter will also act as the showrunner for the series. American McGee stated, David Hayter brings imagination, experience, and stealth sneaking skills gained through successful missions in film, TV, and video games. A unique combination sure to make this adventure into Wonderland a successful one for the franchise and the fans. I am excited to be working with him and know the Alice fans will welcome him with mad affection. As far from what I read in the article, it seems that American McGee himself is involved with the project, which gives me more faith that the TV adaptation will turn out great. I always like to hear when a creator is involved with an adaptation of their work to a new medium to ensure that it won't be some out-of-place trash like a lot of adaptations of the past were. Continuing on with the article, the show will be co-produced with Radar Pictures and Abandoned Entertainment. Ted Field of Radar Pictures noted, David Hayter is a writer Radar has long admired who has a deep fan base in the video game space. His take on American McGee's Alice was so bold that we felt his vision is a series anyone would have to see. Myself personally, I haven't seen anything David Hayter has written, but I have heard good things about Watchmen. Maybe I'll give Watchmen and Warrior Nun a chance so I can see what his writing is like. I am very happy to hear that American McGee is involved with the project. With him being involved, this new TV adaptation of his games could turn out amazing. As I said before, I'm not sure for this new TV adaptation of American McGee's Alice that they're going for a mixture of live action and CGI, much like the Tim Burton live action Alice in Wonderland movies we got a couple years ago. Personally, I would rather like it if it was just an animated TV series replicating the art style of the games and bring in Alice's voice actress. Actually, don't just bring in Alice's voice actress, bring in the voice cast that were on American McGee's Alice Madness Returns, because personally, I can't imagine a different voice for the Cheshire Cat or for the Mad Hatter. Like, bringing in the voice cast from the game for this new TV adaptation would be absolutely amazing. Yeah, the request seems very unrealistic. There might be many factors as to why the voice cast from the games might not come back to reprise the roles for the characters that they played in the games for this new TV adaptation, but I will be giving the new voice cast a chance. I really hope this new Alice TV series is going to be animated. 2021 was the best year for adult animation, and I want the next following years to follow suit and have this Alice TV show be a part of it. A 3D animated series being in the style of the games would be so cool, although I'll be fine with this new TV show adaptation not being animated if that's the direction they're choosing to go with. Now I know there are some fans of this beloved series asking themselves if a TV adaptation for these games can even work. Even though from other articles, it doesn't sound like that the TV series will be an exact adaptation of the games, I do think it can work as its own property, similar to Netflix's Arcane. One thing I will always give praise for Arcane is that it's written in a way for people who don't even play League of Legends can enjoy the show. That's what I hope for this Alice series, that people who never even played the games can still enjoy the show and maybe pique their interest into actually checking out the games if they like this new TV adaptation. If you never played these games, American McGee's take on Alice in Wonderland has a grown-up Alice dealing with childhood trauma. That trauma being the death of her parents and her older sister from a house fire that she was the sole survivor of. Basically, Alice has pretty bad survivor's guilt. When it comes to her backstory in the games, Alice survived the fire when she was 8 years old. She spent a year in the hospital recovering from her burns and spent the next 10 years in the asylum before being released and started working as a maid for Dr. Bumby, which is where the sequel takes place when she's 20 or 21. If you know anything about the mental health treatment of the 1800s, they were terrible, abusive, and torturous. If you were suffering from mental health problems, you were just locked away and not treated like a person. You were a social pariah that just got locked up and forgotten about by the general public. Even your own family if they were the ones to admit you in the asylum. Finishing off with the article, it reads, "Personally, Alice Madness Returns is one of my all-time favorite games, so this is very exciting news for me. I've been patiently waiting for the next entry in the series, currently titled Alice Asylum. You can follow the game's updates via the Facebook page, or you can get some exclusive content via the Patreon. For those of you that don't remember the story behind Alice, shortly after Alice returned from the miraculous trip through the Looking Glass, her house was burnt down and her parents died in the fire. Alice was the only survivor of the terrible accident. After repeated attempts at suicide, she gets locked up in a mental institution and is slowly wasting away there, before she is summoned to Wonderland again by the White Rabbit. But this time, it's a Wonderland gone seriously bad and gory. The only chance for Alice to restore her peace of mind and find out more about the death of her parents is to fight through Wonderland and free it from the evil powers." So that was the article writer giving you the synopsis of the first Alice game, and the line of Alice is wasting away in the mental institution isn't too far off. I mean, she did go catatonic and was like that for a while when it came to the opening of the game. Alice suffering trauma, extreme survivor's guilt, and not to mention the hell she endured at the asylum, her mental health isn't all that great, resulting in Wonderland going from this oasis of wonder and childlike whimsy to becoming hostile, bloody, and a disfigured shadow of its former self. With these evil powers, such as the Red Queen and even the Dollmaker from the second game controlling Wonderland, even Alice's friends, such as the Mad Hatter, became lunatics trying to attack or even kill her. Alice's mind is in ruin due to her trauma, so of course her Wonderland will also be in ruin to reflect the status of her mental health. If there are talented writers behind this series that know the games well enough to keep American McGee's vision true to the original source material, and not to mention considering he seems to be involved with the project, I can see this show becoming a success. This show succeeding would be great. It will help bring relevancy back to the games, and that could help Alice Asylum speed up in productions. I haven't kept up to date with the progress of the third game, so I don't know if EA even bothered picking it up. If they haven't, the show being a big deal might change their mind and they can pick the game up and even remaster the first two games for current systems, which this series clearly needs. People have been asking forever for Alice Madness Returns to get some type of HD remaster, and considering as of right now there's not that many legal ways to obtain and play the original Alice, check in the secondhand market. You might be lucky and find a decent copy of the physical PC game, but there are a lot of people that are just upselling it really high in the secondhand market, and digitally there's just not that many routes for you to get it. Irritatingly enough, EA is one of those companies that just does nothing with the treasure trove of games that they're sitting on. As for Alice Madness Returns, physical copies are starting to become expensive, and I heard that the Steam port really isn't all that great. I really do hope that this TV show gets greenlit and is successful. These games, especially the original Alice, is in danger of becoming completely unavailable within the next couple years thanks to the lack of game preservation. So if this TV show does well, maybe EA will do a better job preserving these games by re-releasing them for current systems and help with Alice Asylum. I would love to play that game this decade and not sometime around 2030 or 2040. That's it. That's all I have to say about this. As an Alice fan, I am so excited for this TV series. I just wanted to spread the word about it to get more people on board to check it out. If you haven't played the games, please do so. You are doing yourself a disservice by not playing them. I think you can still get them digitally on the PS3 store, Xbox maybe, I don't know. Weirdly enough, I'm a huge fan of this game series, but I have never read Lewis Carroll's Alice books. I plan to someday. It's just that I don't know how to go about getting them, because it seems like these big compilation editions are either have the books out of order or they're just missing parts of the story. So any edition recommendations would be great. Anyway, thoughts and opinions about this new Alice TV series, feel free to share them in the comment section down below. Let's get a discussion going, and I'll be sure to see you guys in my next video. Bye!